And I want to just now invite a panel to just talk a little bit. We have three very sharp people who are doing investing in the AI space. And we have a consulting institution. So I want to invite three people on the stage. First off is Mr. Manish Pandey. If you've heard of Ankur Bariku, if you've heard of Josh Talks, if you've heard of Ranveer Alabadia and Beer Biceps, if you've heard of name the creator, if you've heard of any creator, he's the guy who is kind of figuring out their ecosystem and is the brains behind them. That is Mr. Manish Pandey, one of the most well-known people in the content industry. He's also the co-founder of Beer Biceps Media. So he's behind all the YouTube channels. He's releasing about 65 new podcasters into the economy every month because he runs Beer Biceps Skill House, where they train people to become podcasters. And he runs a company called Big Brain Co. So please welcome Mr. Manish Pandey to the stage. And we also have with us, so we have the guy who set up, have you all heard of Mumbai Angels? Yeah, so we have Mr. Joshi, he's set up Mumbai Angels. He then went on to set up Bangalore Angels. I let him, he said, I'll give a very sharp introduction, but I think in terms of asset under management, he's got a huge asset under management deploying investment in AI. He's set up pretty much the angel investing practice in India, and now is, through his venture capital firm, investing in multiple entities. So he's a founder and managing partner at Unicorn India Ventures. Please welcome Mr. Anil Joshi. And we also have with us the Dean of the Engineering Faculty from Symbiosis, Mr. Ketan Kotecha. So he's the Professor and Director of Symbiosis Institution of Technology. I'd love to talk to him about the consulting work that he's doing and how he's making workforce AI ready. So that's what we are seeing and discussing today. I also wanted to have Harsha and Ansh on the stage, but I know we are also running out of time. So I'm just going to probably bring them over at the end for their last closing thoughts on how we deal with this. So starting with this, with Mr. Joshi, actually, I want to start with you on primarily, you've seen the presentations, you've seen where AI is going. I'd love for you to talk a little bit about where investments in AI are going and really, where is the money flowing and how is that money flowing?
Thanks. Good evening, all. A compliment to Lohana Group. I've done so many events and all has been around a specific topic, but I found this to be one of the complete package. I'm sure you would have learned a lot and would take a lot of stuff with you when you go home back. Compliments to all. Investment is a very tricky. I'll be honest that what we saw on stage to previous or maybe a friend of us who talk about, I'll say honestly, would be around 10-15% of what AI could be. So it's much, much beyond that. While we spoke about, problem and then coming out with a solution, I think AI had done a great job on logistics. Now people are able to plan their inventory. People are able to, plan their logistics or even cash flow. A very interesting example I'll give you, but I'll tell you where it's going on. And that's more painful than opportunity. And if you don't have stock, I think that's the worst, a planning can happen. But this is what is being changed using AI because, where it is going, you're asking me. I think predictive is one which will make a lot of difference. And that's what I think would be the next phase in AI where you would really like to look at a, solution which helps you take decision, right? It's more about not reducing the number of people. In fact, I believe if you increase your efficiency, productivity, your business will grow. Probably you will stay with same number of people because you may be doing much larger business with better efficiency. But I think the predictive is one which will keep you ahead of time, and that's what we at least look for when we're looking for investment, because it needs to be scalable.
Can you talk through some of the investments that you have made? You were speaking backstage a little bit about the kind of companies that are getting funded in AI. So would love to just understand a little bit about that.
So we know by nature we invest in startups, and you know I think most of the businesses keep changing in what we invest in. So we invested in one company which was helping taking solo entrepreneur digital, and especially it took a lot of traction during COVID time because everybody was working from home and everybody was looking for new avenues to grow business. So they started their business with an objective to take solo entrepreneur digital, and they landed up building more than 200,000 subscribers in over 100 countries. But the revenue model was not picking up. But then they, moved beyond this and pivoted. So we didn't invest in this company, but this company is now true AI company. So I think each of us would be having at least 10 apps which may be using either for your transportation or placing order or maybe social app. But being in business, I think most of the businesses are moving digital, and that's where the AI is playing true role. So this company identified a problem that with complexity of the app, the productivity was challenged, and they built using AI a single click, which not only help you navigate the entire web app, but also provide you intelligence on top of what is there, because they have access to data. So using GenAI, this company not only help navigate, so productivity increased by 30%, and at the same time it also helped in increasing the decision making. The company is called Beacon, and to my surprise, most of the company when they are in formative days, they land up doing pilot project all for free. But this company landed up building a business of $1 million just doing pilot projects. So that's the power of AI. Then we invested in one very interesting company which is into clean tech. I'm sure most of you would have heard about quality of air index. And so this company not only collect hyper local data on quality on air quality, but this is also helping on flood monitoring. And what makes them special, company called Oroshore, what makes them special is that their ability to integrate hyperlocal data with satellite images and then give you predictive analysis. And this is all being leveraged, because of AI. I have a, large portfolio, but I thought I'll make these two examples.
Awesome, thank you. I'm going to switch gears a little bit, because we have a large number of business owners here, and the theme of this discussion was around AI as well as marketing. And I want to ask Manish Bhai about this. He made a remark, but I'll let him make it. A lot of our fellow Lohana businesses here, can you convince them why we need to do marketing? So why is marketing important? All of this AI we are talking about in terms of efficiency, etc., which is good, and we must do it. Why is marketing important in your view? And having built all of these personal brands, what does it yield to and what does it lead to?
Like one of the biggest crises that we are going into is going to be crisis of being recognized, because as we learned in all the AI talks from Harsh and from Ansh also, is the problem that's going to be is of uniqueness. And for you to be unique, for you to tell your story, for you to tell the world why your product or your service is different and better, you would need marketing, which now also is getting synonym with branding and personal branding, right? I was reading a book recently, and something very nice was mentioned, and it was saying that the way things are moving ahead, two things which will be very relevant is systems and processes. Another is how good can you market that system and processes. And that is why I believe marketing is extremely important. And I'm sure this room full of people who've done businesses all their life and have built successful businesses, they have knowingly, unknowingly done great marketing. So I don't think we can teach this room that why marketing is important.
Yeah, not preach to the choir, but you made an interesting observation about when the room was full.
Yeah.
You want to just talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, when the room was full, right, and when we were discussing at the back that, well, what would you look for after you have achieved success in business, you have achieved success in creating impact, you will be looking for your recognition, right? Like, what are you known
I'm just
for?
saying that when Mr. Rizwan was there and Chintan Bhai was hosting the session, actually he remarked to me that when Chintan Bhai was hosting the session, when Mr. Rizwan was here, the room was packed. The room was packed because Mr. Rizwan's brand is well known. So, I think that is a cut to the chase of why marketing is important, because it will fuel and it will accelerate sales. And what I just want to, yes, sir, you are coming in.
I'll add very interesting, example on this. It's more about visibility, but I'll just give a twist on AI. So there's young entrepreneur who has built a very interesting tool, and he went to one of the producer, took his film, made 10 women sit on one side and 10 men on side, and ran that movie for test marketing. And his tool was capturing the reaction of this 10 women and 10 men. And after the end of the movie, he was able to give analytics that a certain portion of film, women were not at all, interested in this, and it was more resonating with, men audience, and that actually helped them to build the communication. So it's all about, visibility and marketing. So using AI, they realized that this movie is not going to cut eyes with women audience, and then entire communication was around targeted audience, and they did good business around it.
Absolutely. I have Manish Bhai for quick, 3-point agenda. So just leaving back on this, which is that if you want to fill a room full of people, if you want to build a personal brand, and I think your personal brands that you have helped build cumulatively, if I'm not mistaken,
I mean,
100 million followers plus cumulatively of all the personal brands you have built from consulting them, 100 million followers plus
Yeah.
cumulatively. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're getting to hear from a guy who is built brands 100 million followers. I want you to just leave 3 points with the room on how to get it done. So if you want to be like Mr. Rizwan, or you want to be like any of the people out there who have built personal brands, who want to pull in a crowd, what is your 3-point agenda?
One, I mean, the first thing is stop giving numbers, start telling stories. People compel with stories, right? Move with the crowd. When I say crowd, that means you need to understand what is the language that today's world understands, and you speak that language. That is language of social media, language of being on social stories, writing a lot of blogs, making sure putting things out there. Basically, do not be a boring person with the mic.
How
Right.
many people team do they need?
Sorry,
How many people team do they need?
how many people? I'm
Team.
sorry,
How many people team do they need to build this?
I'm not able to hear properly. I'm so sorry. Okay. In my team, Harshil, can you rephrase it? I'm sorry, I'm not getting it.
How big is the team that is required to be a big internet social media personality?
In today's time, you yourself is enough. I mean, you don't need a team. You do not need a team. That's what you heard into those two presentation. It just needs a couple of tool and a lot of data that you give to an AI tool, and then maybe one person to assist you, and it's all out there. You don't need a team. That's the beauty today, that you actually don't need a team.
Awesome. Okay. Professor Ketan, Professor, I say. So, Professor Ketan, you were speaking. I want you to touch upon two things. One is you were speaking about the kind of projects that you are consulting on with respect to AI, whether they be in the marketing domain or otherwise. Can you talk a little bit about that? And second is, we've spoken about that this is a new age, a new era. How are we readying students for that, and where is that going to go? How are we building a workforce which is AI ready?
I'll go back to year 2000, 1998. You see, I'm from Rajkot, and when I started applying for IIT, my dad and my friends were laughing that you are Lohana, be here, we'll give you double the money, do the business. But I did IIT Bombay MTech PhD in artificial intelligence 25 years back. Then since then, I was thinking that we should be number one in AI in this country, and that's what I need to train the students for the same. Believe me, nobody can prevent us to be number one in India for AI leadership, because AI requires three things. One is data. India is having huge amount of data. Second, we require diverse data. We are the most diverse country. And the third most important thing required is AI requires messy problems. And I think India is having enough number of messy problems as well. So keeping that goal in mind, I was teaching, researching AI, and I started a center which is called Symbiosis Center for Applied Artificial Intelligence. We started learning large number of tools with a goal to educate the students the tools, but we did not do that only. What we did is we tie up with large number of companies and get a lot of funding. Believe me, today, I have funding from 20 different countries, like Cambridge University is our partner, Imperial College of London is our partner, University of Milan is our partner. Recently, we got with, King's College of London and so many others. And they fund us the projects. For example, University of Milan fund the project for drone surveillance. Okay, the Coventry University funds the project for finding the, stress among the new generation people and so on and so forth. And then once we get the project, we train the students on solving the particular problem. We patent that idea and then ask the students to do their own startup. We have an ecosystem inside the university where the students can patent free of cost. They can start their own company. Believe me, one of the company which is exited recently is EaseBus. If you know EaseBus, if you do the online payment, there are three options. The third option is EaseBus. That is our incubated company. They got in 3 years 200 crore of VC funding, right? So that way we started moving, and then we started thinking that okay, we should apply the project for the societal as well, and we tied up with HV Desai Hospital, and now last week we are tied up with Narayan Netralaya in Bangalore, where they are giving the data for retinopathy of premature babies. Believe me, we developed an AI algorithm which is patented now. The accuracy of that algorithm is better than any of the doctor available in this world. And then, we are saving large number of, blindness prevention. That is our goal. And because of that particular success, the blindness rate in India has decreased drastically. So that is a retinopathy of premature baby, which we are working right now. I can go on telling of large number of projects. The last is because there are large number of people on logistics and supply chain. We have a very unique project with Cambridge University, UK on supply chain resilience. So which is, you predict the future, predict that there are 3 scenarios will happen, and make the supply chain ready for the same. So using the, of course, generative AI and LLM technologies we are doing. One more project we are doing with Cambridge is on critical minerals, because EV technology will require very, very important minerals which are not available. And also once the batteries are disposed of, how to recover the particular minerals out of it and reuse it. That is also a project which is funded by UK government with us. And recently, of course, 3 more projects we got from different countries. So that is very, very brief. If you want to know more about the projects, you can always browse through Symbiosis Center for Applied Artificial Intelligence, which is there in Pune. And in success, because of that success, in Dubai Knowledge City on this 30th of this month, we are again inaugurating Symbiosis Center for Applied Artificial Intelligence again. Second question was about the requirement. Yeah. So I think other speakers have also mentioned about the basic domain knowledge. So I think there is no substitute of a domain knowledge. There is no substitute of clinching a deal, meeting the people, having this kind of gathering, which AI will never be able to do. So for any business to be a successful, socializing, networking is very, very important. But for the youngsters, I would tell that they should develop one more important thing, which is called, I call as cognitive flexibility. As an example, my dad was in SBI. 40 years he worked for SBI, retired from SBI. Every 7 years, I'm changing the job. I'm the second generation. Every 7 years, I change my job to some different universities. But I'm sure that the next generation will change the profession every 5 to 7 years. So they should be ready with any of the profession, either by choice or by compulsion. They will check that. So they will change that rather. So cognitive flexibility is also a very, very important aspect, I would say they should develop.
And just to round it off, Mr. Anil Joshi, from your side, final words on where you see the space of AI going, where, Professor Ketan has spoken about so many applications. So where will the space of AI be going that requires investment? And what's the mindset that is required for an entrepreneur building in AI? So that's a question to you. And then Manish Bhai, question to you is, as you are seeing creators, as you are seeing content being created, as you are seeing businesses created, how are you viewing where AI is going from your vantage point? So final two questions. Thank you, Professor Ketan, for your wonderful presentation on that.
Will not be speaking about infrastructure requirement. I think every country is doing their bit on that, be it server or building the backend capabilities. But I think some of the hints were already given by previous speakers, building around problem. But I think AI will play a great role in solving, medical issues. We have two companies, and this really going to change the way, medical science will also, behave in future. So this company is trying to actually have built a product which helps in early detection of cancer, right? In case of oral cancer, I think around 80% of the time, the realization happen when it's a third degree, cancer, and then you have a lot of complication. But imagine if it is identified during first or second stage, you can actually do a lot to mankind, right? This is one example. Then the same company is building on cervical. I think every woman in this room will resonate with it. That's very painful, but this is non-invasive. That's where technology is going now. Imagine we are having so many fatalities. So just met a company based out of Gujarat, and they have built something similar on spectrometry to map brain and identify if there are any hemorrhage issues. Before you go for MRI, identify, I think a lot of time is lost, but this is a quick one. I think AI is going to make our life more easier. Only depend upon we need to identify the problem, and probably AI will find the solution for it.
So one of the biggest problem that every content creator who I kind of mentored, coached, walked up to me was, I don't get time for myself. I don't get time for my family. I do not have any social thing. Reason is content is very demand and supply kind of a game, right? To stay ahead of curve, you will have to be consistent. Now, consistency requires time. Now, and again, one more thing to think about is creativity does not come with the same amount every day. It has a shelf life. Now, what I have done in last 7 to 8 years working around all these content creators is help them build nice system and processes, where I famously say that, you can take holiday, but your content cannot. I mean, no matter what is happening in your life, if you are a content creator, it is your job to put it out there, right? Because of AI, a lot of systems and processes are being automated. So that's now giving free time to content creators. And AI is, result that you get out of all the AI agents is only as good as nicer and more creative prompt you give it to. So once your menial jobs is taken care by AI, the most valuable factor that defines a content creator is their own creativity, their own thought process, their own storytelling brain. And I think that becomes more free. So with AI, I believe people and creative humans are going to be more creative, and the concentration of creativity is going to come out more. So the content that we have been seeing till today, I think in future, when you see content on YouTube or on Instagram, it will be with more depth, and such content creators who will prioritize their thinking will remain. So AI will definitely help, and AI is definitely going to solve for time. And time is the most expensive currency when it comes to content creation.
Well said. On that very optimistic note, I want to thank the panel, Professor Ketan Kotecha, Mr. Anil Joshi, Mr. Manish Pandey. Thank you. I think that's a fitting end because you've spoken about the optimism of the quality of human life. You've laid out the foundation with all the possibilities, with all the multiple projects that you're doing. And you said that fundamentally what this will do is give the humans space to breathe, space to express, and space to live. On that optimistic note, thank you very much, gentlemen. And I want to thank also Harsha, and I want to thank Ansh. If you can please come up on stage. We're running a little short on time, so we couldn't get their final words in, but I'm sure you enjoyed the presentations. I hope this little package on AI that we put together for you was quite helpful to open your minds on all the possibilities. Thank you very much.